Well, hi there, everybody. This is week 4, and I'm glad you're still with me. This will probably be the last week that I do a video prior to the start of the course. I'll save weeks 5 and 6 for once we're underway, and in fact, I may go back and redo this video once we see where the conversation has gone of the first 3 weeks. I'm sure this course has been a little different than perhaps you expected. Focusing more on who you are as a change agent, trying to give you some of the skills to be more effective at doing that, rather than a simple kind of recipe of 10 things you need to do to improve technology adoption. See, fundamentally, the question just isn't that simple. It comes down to leaders, it comes down to effective leaders, and their ability to create a climate of change, a climate in which an organization begins to evolve a foundational way of seeing itself as an institution connected to the technologies, not only of teaching and learning, but that surround us in life. Had an interesting conversation some months back with the new Chief Information Officer at Georgetown University, one of our oldest Blackboard clients, and she talked about how the need to reorganize the entire kind of ecosystem of technology at a university and put Blackboard right at the center. Now again, I guess I should say to put a learning management system right at the core. Obviously, in this case, it was Blackboard she was talking about. But the essential question that she resolved and understood, and mind you, it was interesting because she was coming from outside of academia, was to recognize that the central mission of a learning institution is teaching and learning. Sure, all the other pieces go with it, raising funds, preparing students to be loyal to the university, to employ people, to keep them happy. All of these kinds of things go around. But at the end of the day, it's really about the central mission of the quality of teaching and learning and how well you're able to build an ecosystem in which connects with and supports the students that are enrolled at your institution. So I called week 4 Touchstones of Personal Power. If I were you, I'd look at it and go, wow, this is kind of new age. Touchstones, power, it's going to get a little freaky here. No, the title is probably the most abnormal thing about this week. You'll see very familiar kinds of faces like Stephen Covey and others as in the readings. You'll take the Thomas Kilmann conflict mode instrument, which is a wonderful tool for helping you to understand not only what the kinds of conflict are, but what kind of person you are in relating to it. But the reason I chose, you'll also get to see a marvelous video by a guy named Dan Pink on motivation. This ought to turn pretty much every concept we have about how and why people are motivated upside down. And it will help explain for a lot of us why traditional means of motivation that we employ in our businesses, in our institutions, in our learning organizations don't create the kind of change that we think, that don't really motivate people. Listen carefully to his video. I think you'll find it rather illuminating. The notion of a touchstone of personal power is a bit of a new age way of saying, think about what anchors you. If you engage in a process of change, you're going to meet resistance. Some of these resistances are factual, but most are driven by a deeper fear of change. They won't tell you, hi, I'm afraid of change. We've already talked a little bit about that under barriers. It's going to manifest itself in terms of innumerable mountains that you have to climb. There are all sorts of reasons why change should not happen. But you know, and I know, if you're taking this course, that in order to be successful at educating students today, tomorrow, and to be employed in the future, they need to leave school with not only some of the sets of skills and values that they would have gotten under a 100-year-old Jeffersonian model of education, but they also need to leave school today with a set of learning capabilities, a way of looking at the world, not just as technology for entertainment, technology for communication, but that technology is really your bridge to the most amazing opportunity for education and learning that's ever existed on this planet. I mean, just think about all the information that's available. God bless Google and Wikipedia and all of these sources of information, YouTube, you name it. But it allows the growth of things like TED as an organization that wouldn't exist really without the presence of being able to distribute the amazing talks that are given there. So, in the face of this kind of opposition, in the face of this kind of fear and resistance to change, how do you know you're doing the right thing? And when you're challenged, what's going to keep you anchored, focused, directed, so that you know you can stay the course? Now, touchstones in typical sense might be a rock that you found. It might be a religious symbol that you wear. It might be almost anything. It might be something, a picture you post on your computer. For many people, it's an image of their family. You think about astronauts in space and what did they take with them to, every day to touch and look at. So for you, what's going to keep you focused? What's going to keep you staying the course, even when those around you perhaps are not singing your praises and as excited as you are about the opportunities to create a true 21st century learning environment, maximizing all of the amazing technologies that are available yesterday, that are available today. And every time I pick up a Wired magazine or a Fast Company, I'm just stunned by how little I know and how fast it's evolving and what the latest kinds of efforts and things are. So this week, hopefully you'll leave one more step down the path towards building a roadmap of exactly how you're going to create and sustain change. But you'll also take a little bit of time to learn more about yourself and discover what's going to continue to support you as you become an incredibly effective change agent for your organization. Have a great week, and we'll talk again soon.